Yo, what's good, family? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Wow, it's all kicking off right now. Errol Spence has aired out Team Canelo after a Team Canelo fighter has popped dirty. Now, where this originates from, Errol Spence has built his own little man down promotions, a boxing promotional outfit under Al Heyman PBC. Now, on that same basis, he hired Frank Martin, who's an up-and-coming fighter, who all the way down with the squabbles, who is set to face Michael Rivera. Now, this Michael Rivera dude has just been suspended after popping. A probable suspension awaits Michael Rivera following his first loss of his pro career. The matter remains under investigation by Nevada Commission officials who agreed to extend the temporary suspension pending further review. Now, bottom line is, Michael Rivera, he juiced out of his mind, and at the same time, it's just come out that Michael Rivera is about to join up with Team Canelo. Now, some people are saying, oh, he popped. He's trying to get that Canelo pattern. We know Canelo, he has all the governing bodies patterned up, and when he came out, oh, it's the beef juice. Oh, I got some Mexican moody beef juice and whatever else. So is it a case of Michael Rivera's, oh, let me get with Team Canelo and they're going to pattern me up with the authorities and make sure my dirty test gets all smoothed out? Who knows? What I will say is, I ain't trying to hear about all that. What I'm trying to hear from Errol Spence is, number one, when are you squabbling Terence Crawford? Stop trying to obfuscate. That's the problem with Errol Spence. I've noticed that about this guy. Yeah? He always, recently especially, back in last year, at the end, in Q4 last year, the heat was on Spence and Crawford. And I feel Errol Spence ever since, he think he's smart. Ooh, yeah, you know what I mean? He out here just laying low with it. Putting little bits out about things that no one care about, like this. In the meantime, where is the Crawford fight? We don't want to see you versus Keith Old Furman. End of the heat old. Keith Furman, he's been washed up. Keith Furman was hot half a decade ago. Do you understand that, people? Don't tell me about no half a decade ago fighters. Yeah, that fight was half a decade old. Put it down somewhere. If you can make the Keith Furman fight, the Keith Oldman fight, why can't you make the Errol Crawford fight? I don't get that one. Explain. It's super weird. Now, at the same time the Keith Furman fight's being made against Spence, it's allegedly at 154. Now, my whole shtick is, since Errol Spence is sending for Canelo, I think it'd be great, yeah, if Errol Spence says, listen, boom, I'm going up to 164 catch weight. I want some of that carrot top. That's what Errol Spence should be on. Errol Spence is a big guy as well. When you think about it, look at Terence Crawford. I think Terence Crawford came from 130. Terence Crawford's came up here. I don't know how he does it, but Terence Crawford's came from 130. Now he's a big guy at 147. It's mad. I don't know how he did it. Go back and watch Crawford versus Avanesian. Crawford was the big dog in there. I'm not just talking technically. I'm talking in terms of stature. Crawford looked cute, like a weight division above. And he's coming from 130. And I believe, when you look at Errol Spence here, Errol Spence has a pigeon chest. That's because he got no meat on the bones. I believe, potentially, Errol Spence can properly fill out into 164. So if you don't want to fight Crawford, yeah, go up to 160 at least, fill out, and then send for Canelo. That's what I want to see. Listen, if it's not Crawford, it's Canelo. I ain't trying to see Spence do nothing else. Is it likely? No, it's not. What's likely is Errol Spence going to keep sitting back in the cut, tweeting about stuff ain't no one trying to hear, and fighting Keith Oldman. Too old looking ass dude. That's what I think this cat can do, unfortunately. It's corny. It's played out. Ain't no one trying to hear this one. Yeah, listen, the Team Canelo jokes, they're old now. Yeah? They're old. We want to hear about you getting it on with Spence. Or, if you're going to mention Team Canelo, you should be sending for them. Listen. Crawford, he a cornball. Yeah? Crawford is a whole cornball. And on that basis, I want the real big dog. I want Carrot Top. Get me Carrot Top at 164. Yeah? Because the same way you negotiated a catch weight for Mayweather, give me the 164 catch weight. I'm coming up. I'm bulking up. Give me one fight at 160 to warm up. I'm going to go on a big bulk. Yeah, bulking for the next 6 months. Get nice and big and strong. Have one fight at 160. And then I'm coming for Carrot Top. At a catch weight. Big mega fighting. And that's also, remember people, yeah? Errol Spence, he's a big dog in Texas. Do you understand? Imagine how big that would be in Texas. Canelo, Carrot Top versus Errol Spence at 164. I mean, I think Spence versus Mikey Garcia did 300k. I genuinely think Errol Spence versus Canelo does over 1 million. Because people talk about Golovkin, yeah, that fight did like 1.2 million, but Golovkin, he was not a big USA star. Golovkin was not selling 300k in Texas pay-per-views. He wasn't. Golovkin's European, for a start. I'm telling you now, Errol Spence in Texas versus Canelo does 1 million at least. That's what the play should be from Spence if he's not fighting Crawford. Go up there and make your legacy. After all, Errol Spence, categorically, he fought a 135-pounder Mikey Garcia. So in my book, repaid a favour in that sense. And I'm not saying he should jump straight in there. I'm saying go up to 164, especially now that we see that Canelo looks a bit soft potentially. Yes, let's not forget that one. He does look a little bit potentially weak. It's not like Errol Spence is small. Errol Spence will be taller than Canelo. Go up there, bulk up for 6 months, get strong, fight at 160, and send for Canelo. That's what Errol Spence should be on right now, in my opinion, making his legacy. Because that would be a legacy-defining fight. If Spence beats Canelo, then he's made for it. His legacy's made. Otherwise, what's he going to do? Just hang around beating up old people? Let's be real now, people. There's nothing for him at 154. There's nothing for him at 160. Actually, you know, tell a lie. Or that. Or, you know what? I've got another example of what he could do. Errol Spence, that might be a great idea actually. Errol Spence goes to 160, fights Golovkin. Then if he beats Golovkin, he takes on Carrot Top at 164. Yeah? That for me is a great narrative, a great idea, and he should be on that. Instead, he hanging back, moving up to 154 to fight Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman's never fought at 154. That only benefits Spence. So it's like, wait a minute. Errol Spence, who already has all the advantages, he will be huge compared to Thurman, sorry. Thurman never has a problem making weight. Errol Spence will be full at 154. Thurman will be looking like chicken legs, in my opinion. Because Thurman isn't a big guy. Errol Spence will fill into the weight the same way Crawford has. That's what I believe. I believe you'll see that chicken chest disappear. He'll fill. Honestly, I genuinely think that Errol Spence is probably a 160-pound fighter. The same way Crawford is a 147-pound. Crawford was never a 135-pounder, never a 130-pounder. It was ridiculous weight loss, dangerous weight loss. And I believe actually, that's why we've suddenly seen, look back in the day, yeah, at 130, Terence Crawford wasn't a power puncher. He wasn't stopping no one. In fact, Terence Crawford was known to be pillow-fisted. Now all of a sudden, he's knocking dudes spark out. I believe a lot of people do too much thinking. They think, I need to boil myself down and become the smallest to get the biggest advantage. I think a lot of fighters lose a lot of stuff doing that, I mean, look at Floyd Mayweather, for example. He didn't even cut weight. Although he didn't fight no one either. But anyway, what I'm getting at is, I think, for all we know, Errol Spence is part of the reason he looks cross-eyed is because he's drained himself so much. Who knows? I mean, some people have said he doesn't punch so hard, but maybe it's because he's drained. Same way Terence Crawford didn't punch hard at 130. Now all of a sudden he's knocking dudes out, spark out at 147 because he's full of beans, he's not drained and depleted, and he's full. So go up there, go and fight Golovkin, go and fight Carrot Top. That's what I want to hear from Errol Spence. I ain't trying to hear nothing else. I ain't trying to hear about Canelo. Oh, Juice. I ain't trying to hear that one. If it's not Crawford, it's Carrot Top and Golovkin. That is where your legacy lies. Because, all due respect, yeah, Jamal Charlo, he don't want it. Jamal Charlo, he clown, he goofball as well. Let's be real. Jamal Charlo is a goofball. He don't want no squabbles at 160. Errol Spence can go up there and handle some business. That there will be legacy defining. Win, lose or draw. That's what all the greats did. People talk about Canelo, yeah? All due respect, Canelo has gone up from 154 to 175. Yeah, that's 1, 2, 3 weight divisions. Errol Spence doing the same will be 154, 160, 168. There's no reason Errol Spence can't do it, and I actually believe Errol Spence has more ability to grow into the weights than Canelo. Why? Canelo is short and stubby. He can only really put weight on by just getting more thick. Errol Spence, I'm telling you now, he will grow into them weights. He won't look like Canelo looks like a chode at 175. And it's not necessarily healthy weight. He's just bulky, and that's why he gets tired. But Errol Spence, I think Errol Spence's cardio will actually improve because he won't be water drained. And I actually think his power will improve as well. Whereas Canelo, after 168, we've seen diminishing returns because he's not got the size for it, I don't believe. He's maxed out at 168, whereas I actually think Errol Spence has more chance at going up than Canelo does, truth be known. Anyway, unfortunately, in today's era, people clown Canelo, yeah, but he dared to be great. Errol Spence, what's he still doing at 147 if he's not fighting Crawford? Don't know and know. Crawford, Errol Spence should be trying to make his way now. Yeah? Give me Carrot Top. Give me Golovkin. Right now in Texas. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, and leck off the bell 100%.